Today on Behind the Bloom podcast, we're getting started with Season 3 with this companion to episode number 301, Fields of Flowers. We'll tour the famous Carlsbad flower fields with my friend Michelle Castellano-Keeler. We'll make a flower cocktail and flatbread that embodies fields of flowers. I make a flower bouquet out of vintage flower jewelry, upcycle a vintage silver basket for my friend Jan, and even share the best flowers to plant in a cutting garden. Today on Behind the Bloom with RJ and me. It's amazing to see a field of flowers, both literally and figuratively. I love to visit my local flower seller to see what they are featuring. You can create your very own field of flowers in a vase for your home or office. Flowers add so much joy and comfort to any space. Cal Flowers is a proud sponsor of Behind the Bloom podcast and the Life in Bloom TV show on public television. Here's my advice. Bring home some flowers tonight.
Hey, Jay.
Hello, it is Season 3.
Yes, Season 3.
Season 3.
I can't believe we've made it through 2 seasons already, and I'm excited
I
for
know.
Season 3.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I know that we talk about the first season being the lost season because we don't have those original files for that.
Mm-hmm.
But this season, honestly, is kind of like the unviewed season.
Oh, okay.
Because when we joined American Public Television, they had a computer system that they started when we got to season 5.
Okay.
And so they put season 4 on the computer for us and season 5, but they didn't put any, and they said every new season would get put on. Well, then they didn't put on 3.
Oh, okay.
And so 3 was not on this thing called 6. SIX is the name of this technology. And so we had to pay to put season 3 on 6.
Okay.
So we were also experiencing how there was a lot of stations all across the country playing 1 and 2. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's a programmer, and he said, the reason we don't put up 3 is because it's not on 6 and we can't get a hold of it.
Oh.
So we made that investment, and now 3 is like running all over the country. So it's a very popular season. So
Great.
that's a really good thing.
So like it wasn't able to syndicate or whatever, basically, or?
Let's see. How can I nicely say this? If something's on 6, it's very easy to program.
I gotcha. Okay.
If it's not on 6, they had to program 14 files, is my understanding. I don't really know. I'm not a technical person about that.
Okay.
So now with it being on 6, it was just like, it's like push one button and let's put 3 up. Okay. And it populates it and it puts it all up there and gets it all taken care of for you.
Okay, cool.
Before for 1 and 2, it was a different process that they were familiar with. Well, 3 was like an outlier. It wasn't really in that process.
Okay.
And so we just joked about 3 being like, was anybody ever going to show 3? After it aired once,
Yeah.
And so it is really good because there's really good stuff in this season.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yes, this is the Field of Flowers.
Yeah. Do you want to start it with the tip first?
I do. I will tell you, I have been challenged recently in like trying to coordinate a tip that's in Bloom 365 to the episode. Okay. So this one is not in the book, but you can create your own Field of Flowers. If Field of Flowers are exciting to you, you can do it anywhere you want. A few flowers in a vase will be your Field of Flowers and will improve your mood, lighten the load, and even help you be more creative.
Oh, I love that.
It's just like, well, I don't have any fields of flowers. Well, go make one. Grab, I could go out here and cut some hellebores and put them in. That would be my little field of hellebores that could be on my, I could grab some of that. There's a crabapple tree out there. I'm going to go cut crabapple today because it's open now. So I'm going to cut some and and that will be my field of flowers. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So you can create a field of flowers. And then remember that at work, it's super helpful because it can make you more creative.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We just started at work when we have clients that are there putting flowers in like the client area. Yeah. It's been like a new thing that we're doing now for each one of the shoots where we go and put flowers up there. And it makes such a difference. Everyone up there is in such a good mood. We go to like review footage with them and everyone's like smelling the flowers and is in such a positive mood. So
awesome.
Yeah.
It really does lighten the load. I mean, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Oh, that's really fun.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so we kick off this season with this Field of Flowers. We felt like we needed to go to the mother of all locations, the Carlsbad flower fields.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's amazing. It's so interesting because our friends at Mellano are the caretakers of that property. They are not the owners of the property, and they don't do the day-to-day work there that happens with all the guests and all that kind of stuff. There's a nonprofit that takes care of that. But they are the people that plant the ranunculus, harvest the bulbs, do all that stuff so that they can keep it and maintain it and become ongoing. It was actually, the property was donated, I believe, if I am not mistaken, there was a gentleman who did it for many years, and somehow the Paul Ecke family has something to do with this, who are the people that grow poinsettias in that area of California. It is very interesting. And so what happened was they have this beautiful array of flowers, right? And so I just think this is a very interesting thing. So then they had all these people who built homes or condos around the flowers, right?
Right. Yeah, and you can see them in the episode, like, you're
Correct.
looking at this field of flowers, and there's, like, a house overlooking it.
And that's the calling card, right? And you
Mhm.
paid extra money to have this field of flowers outside your place, right?
Yeah,
Well, flowers need care.
right.
There has to be tractors, there has to be watering, there has to be integrated pest management, there has to be control of agrobacterium, which is running rampant throughout Southern California. So agrobacterium is a soil thing that has to be managed with chemicals. There's people who come and there's noise. And then these people who bought these places fight all the time about all the stuff that has to go on with the fields of flowers that are across their place.
Oh gosh.
It is, it's a very interesting thing. And so my friend, Michelle Castellano-Keeler, we are lifelong flower friends. We've been flower friends since we were little tiny kids. Her
Oh,
dad and my dad were friends. And so Michelle is as a lawyer. She's a highfalutin lawyer.
okay.
And she's really good. She's really good. And she's really tough. If I ever would need a lawyer, I would be calling Michelle, right? And she is one of the most charming, wonderful people in the entire world. And so are her parents. But she has to go litigate with these people all the time
Oh
about,
gosh.
hey, this is what you bought into.
Mhm.
It's just kind of funny that, and they know it's an attraction. It's like living across from Disneyland. What do you, I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
people, hundreds of thousands of people show up every season to see the flower fields that are in your backyard.
Yeah,
Okay.
what do they
You
think?
know?
It's just gonna sit there on its own
Yeah,
and
and
keep doing all
it was
this without any
just for them.
Oh, right.
Just for them,
Gosh,
so yeah.
gosh.
So that's very good. And so it was really cool. I love that Michelle in the outtakes too talks about how the owner and his wife the people would used to just come to it. And they would
Oh.
wander around in there, and there were no gates, and there was no tickets or anything, And so then when he would feel like there wasn't too many people, he'd turn on the sprinklers.
Yeah. I love that.
And I was like, Michelle, do you still have the sprinklers? And she said, yes, we do, but we just need to aim them in other directions. And I'm like, I'll bet that's true.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, and it's remarkable that it's a working farm. I think
Oh.
that's the other thing. So it's very unusual for you to grow flowers and let the flowers remain on the stems. Because if you're creating flowers for cut flowers, you're going to cut them in bud and get rid of them. But here they want that in the idea is they have to have the whole flower field look great. Also that they're going to let the whole entire thing to go into bloom so that those blooms bloom and set and then go back in and create more corms.
Okay.
And then they harvest the corms to again plant in the fields for the next year. It isn't something that you plant and forget. It's that they unearth things. They got to keep track of the colors. They got to keep track of the sizes. Older corms are bigger. Smaller corms are smaller. Bigger corms have more flowers. Little corms don't. It's all that stuff.
Okay.
It has really become a much bigger deal now. We had friends, I don't know if you remember the people who were in our viewer feedback one time, Cabby and her husband who made, Tony, Cabby and Tony made these flower crowns for themselves and made them for their twin daughters or granddaughters.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
So he called me and he said, we're going to go out there.
Oh, cool.
Any tips? And I was just like, no, have a great time. I mean, it just, where everything is. And if you get a chance, you can go up the road a piece and go to the Mellano's, have a farm stand up there
Oh, okay.
where Michelle's mother, who is Italian and wonderful and so sweet, makes strawberry jam.
Oh, cool.
And you can get these little small batches of strawberry jam, which is just amazing. And sage honey. I got sage honey out there. That's from
Oh.
a sage field. They're all Italian because they're all of the family of the Milanos. And Michelle's mom was a Milano, but then she married a Mr. Castellano.
Okay.
They came out that day, and I have a treasured picture of those two. They were just walking through along the road holding hands.
Oh,
Michelle's father has passed away now, and his name was
okay.
Batista, and so they called him Batty. That was his name.
Oh,
He had Alzheimer's and dementia towards the end, and she brought him to a national convention where I won Marketer of the Year. We talked about that a little bit when Lane was on. He came up to me, and he was sitting in a chair, and she said, come over and say hi to my dad. You know, I don't know if he will remember you, but you understand if he doesn't. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And she came over, and she goes, do you know who this is? His eyes brightened up, and
cool.
he reached out and grabbed my point of my hair.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, yes, it's Jay. Yes, it's Jay. And I was just like, and she's like, oh my gosh. You know, and I was just like, so meaningful. But her mom and dad are the most wonderful people in the whole world. And they have a town in Italy that they support that was their hometown.
Wow.
And they travel over every year, and she brings her grandkids over there, and they still help support this little town. And the church that they were married in is there. And
Wow.
this family is just, they're amazing people. They're
Wow.
completely amazing people. And this was just such a fun thing. So ranunculus are a flower that looks kind of like a rose.
Okay.
This man who started the fields chose different ones that had more petals than single petals.
Okay.
And so that he could kind of self-hybridize these, and that's what happened with them.
And so he was just on his own going through this process and he
Yeah.
evolved into this. That's super cool.
He started out as a little kid. In this episode, we have a picture of him as an old guy, because that's the only picture I could find historically of him.
Oh, yeah.
He started out as a young man, and that this was what they wanted to do,
Oh.
you know? So it was just, it's a very, very cool experience. And now there's like a butterfly house there, and there's, you know, and every day you go, there's school kids there. It's just, it is a destination for Southern California. We were out there last year to film in September, I think, or was it? No, it was even later than that. It was November. We were out there in November. It's not blooming, so it's very weird to go by it when it's just empty. It's
I
so
bet.
for a period of time, it's just dirt fields,
Okay.
and you're like, oh, the Carlsbad flower fields.
Yeah, because it looks so dense with color. It's like when you were there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just fields of just pure color. It's like you're not seeing anything other than those bright, vibrant colors, which is just incredible.
The other thing that Michelle tells me about, and so I will do her this service. Okay, if you're an Instagrammer or an influencer or somebody who wants to go there, don't touch the flowers. Don't go into the There are places you are supposed to stay. You are not allowed to go inside. You are not allowed to pick. You are not allowed, you know, and people can be so irreverent and so disrespectful to something that is a public thing, you know? So it's important to behave when you're there, you know, and you can still take beautiful pictures.
Mhm.
You can still take beautiful pictures with a big group of flowers behind you. You don't have to go stand in the middle of them. You know, but yeah. So Michelle will be thankful that I said, please behave yourselves when you're there.
Well, so then you did an arrangement with Ranunculus.
Okay, so I thought it would only be fitting to do so. So we went to the Mellano stand in the LA flower market to make that arrangement. And so
Okay.
we wanted to use the arrangements from that.
I loved the way that was shot, Jay. I don't know why it felt like very different than some of your other arrangements. I don't know. I said it was like a voyeuristic cinematography where you felt like you were like a worker and you were kind of like spying on you making this thing. It was a lot like there was like a lot of stuff happening kind of in the background, in the foreground, and it was like,
We
I don't know
did
if it
it
was a
right
tight
on the
space
floor.
or-
Yeah, we did
Oh,
it
yeah.
right on the floor of the market.
Oh,
And they stopped people from walking in front. I mean, I don't know if we were positioned in quite the right place, because we've been there back there to film a couple more times. There's a better place for us to film. But
okay.
people were kind of trying to get around us, and people had stopped to watch. And that was just, you know, and it was kind of at the beginning of all that stuff. There was also a reality television show called The Arrangement that was done by RuPaul's World of Wonder.
Oh, okay.
And it was a competition show about these florists that were going to create arrangements.
Oh, cool.
It was on, I don't even know what it was on. I think it was online, maybe even somewhere. Maybe, I don't know if it was on Netflix. I don't know. I can't remember now. It was that
Okay.
long ago. But
Yeah.
one of the people came up who was one of the contestants, and they went in, and he was like saying to everybody else, you know, who is that guy? Who's that guy? What does he have? Oh, he has a television show. What's his television show? I mean, there's all that television show stuff that all goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I guess, my old performance level stuff, I don't mind arranging flowers in front of people. That doesn't bother me. This week, I got email from someone about our 100th episode. And this lady said, you bring a whole new meaning to when Ginger Rogers said, I do everything that Fred Astaire does, only backwards and in high heels.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And she said, you're like Ginger Rogers, that you're making that arrangement backwards. She goes, I don't know if you have on high heels or not, but you're making that arrangement backwards. And it's just really amazing that you can do that. And I think I'm very fortunate that I can do that and that I was trained to do that and that it doesn't bother me. But I think that that's a fun aspect of it too. I think that adds a little bit more to it in that there's not a big reveal. It isn't like I have to turn it around. I'm making it towards you so that you can see. And that was just from doing thousands of shows in the United States for people on stage and knowing that they wanted to see it made that way.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting that we were just right out on the floor, though. So, yeah. And it was just kind of
cool.
And that's when, influencers weren't that big of a deal yet. All that kind of stuff. So,
right.
Yeah, it was fun. Then the Field of Flowers cocktail. So we have a Field of Flowers cocktail and a Field of Flowers recipe in this too, but the Field of Flowers has the elderflower in it as well as lavender and rose too. And it's just a lavender infused vodka, which I infuse all kinds of vodka. I was just going through my cupboard the other day after this, when I knew this one was coming up. I have chive vodka from Chive Blossoms.
Really?
I have peony vodka. I have lilac vodka. I have cucumber vodka. You can infuse anything in vodka, and it's simply, if you have an organic substance, you can put it down in there and let it sit in there for 3 to 6 weeks, maybe sometimes. I mean, with the roses, that's what works. And with the lavender, that's what we did. The lavender infused pretty quickly. Lavender, you probably don't have to go that long. You probably only have to go about a week because it'll get bitter.
Okay.
It's just putting the organic lavender blossoms in the water and letting them sit there for a while. And you can taste it as you go along and know when you should stop. The peony one is very interesting too. I was like, I need to dig that out. And so then I store them all in a dead black cupboard so that they won't fade because they're beautiful colors.
Wait, so will light make them?
Light makes them turn muddy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like the lavender turned brown. It wasn't purple anymore. And stuff like that. The rose one will turn brown. It really looks more like a what would you call that? Like a vermouth or something like that. Because it doesn't stay as pretty of a red color. And then we filled the ice cubes with flowers. Right.
I love whenever you do that. That's so cool. I always really like that. It's
so
you pretty.
Know that this caused an issue because I just used those and I didn't tell anybody how to do it.
Oh.
And so in a couple episodes from now, we're going to do those.
Oh, okay.
Because people freaked out, and they were like, how did you do that? And I was like, we got to tell you.
Yeah.
So you use distilled water. You put a little bit of water in and freeze it first.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because the flour will float?
Yeah. So you put a little bit of water in, drop the flour in, freeze it, then bring it out immediately and fill it with water and put it right back in again because the flour is going to be frozen and you don't want it to turn black. But that piece of ice has to be holding it in place.
I gotcha.
And so if you let it freeze into that piece of ice a little bit and add cold water, have the water as cold as you possibly can to add it on top so that it doesn't cause it to thaw as you're refreezing it. So it's it's a deal. It's a little bit of a thing, but yeah, it made it look really pretty.
Pretty.
Though. Yeah. It's awesome. Did you know flowers perform best in clean water with the precise food? Chrysal Flower Food is formulated by scientists to prolong the vase life of flowers as much as possible, and it's easy to use. I always choose Chrysal Flower Food because it feeds the flowers, resulting in vibrant color and enhanced fragrance, while also keeping bacteria levels down. My personal favorite product is Chrysal Professional 3. If you want to experience the benefits, Chrysal Flower Food products are available at their website, chrysalflowerfood.com. That's CHRYSAL flowerfood.com. And be sure to use our discount code UBloom10 for 10% off your purchase. Support the joy of flowers. The Life in Bloom Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to flower education and inspiring a love of flowers in everyone. The foundation helps fund the production of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom on public television, making it possible for viewers across the country to enjoy the beauty and benefits of flowers. The foundation also provides free flower education to high schools, colleges, and floriculture programs through ubloom.com, helping students and future florists bloom in their own careers. Your donation in any amount makes a difference. Plus, all contributions are 100% tax deductible. If you'd like to help us continue sharing the power of flowers, visit thelifeinbloomfoundation.org to donate today. Thank you for your support.
So then you did the flower jewelry art after that, which I thought was so cool with the flower pins and brooches.
So I got this idea. You're going to ask me where I got this idea, right?
Yes. Where did that come from?
Okay.
It was so cool.
Going through the Minneapolis airport, there was an art display for children who had done different types of art. And it was just an art piece. And different kids from different schools had done stuff. And some kid had done this.
Oh,
I was like, I could do this. This is a really cute idea.
Cool.
When my great-grandmother died, Grandma Katie, there was a chest, like a train case, full of costume jewelry.
Okay.
And I gave it away to all the kids in the neighborhood. All the girls in the neighborhood for a kiss. What the heck? What the heck? Jeannie Olmstead, Barbara Chaka, Karen Drake, Julie Jensen, if you're all listening, you know you got some of those earrings and necklaces for a kiss from me. You just wanted the jewelry. But anyway, I should have kept that jewelry because it would have been great in this because it was all sorts of flower stuff. So I started collecting pieces of flower brooches and stuff. The one thing I also caught a little bit of fire about was people wrote in and said I shouldn't have cut the backs off, but I needed to get them under the frame. And that was a way to make them glue and not be standing off an inch off of the background.
Okay.
I still have it. It's hanging in the living room.
Oh, cool. They got put to use. It's okay that you took stuff off.
Yeah.
And you could always probably reattach a backing if you absolutely had to. It's not like you were affecting the front of it, right? I mean,
and my friend Jan Clark, who is wonderful. Jan Clark is an amazing, amazing friend. I was looking and I said, I can't find a bumblebee anywhere. I found the little butterflies. And Jan said, oh, I got a bee. I'll send you a bee. And she sent that bee. So that bee was from her. Jan she's in our 100th episode with some of her flower arrangements. She sends us stuff all the time. And then she also has a basket that's in this that she also sent to me at the same time. That's a wedding basket.
Okay.
A silver-plated wedding basket. It was just taking those. And I will tell you, this is the thing I remember the most when I watched this show. That took forever.
Oh, it did?
For like 2 hours. And there was glue webs everywhere. And I was just like, and my back hurt so bad bending over that table. And I had to go sit down. And I was just like, this is horrible. It's a very time-consuming project. And for a crafter, big, huge props and big respect for anybody who crafts and does that a lot. I did not realize how long it was going to take us. So it took us the better part of an entire afternoon to get it and have it looking great. And the trick with using a blow dryer or a heat gun to evaporate those glue webs is a super, super great trick because it can get rid of those for you really easily. And when you're working with a hot glue gun, you're going to have that webbing that's going to happen. And it's just a really fast, easy way to get rid of it. A hairdryer on high or a heat gun on low, and they just evaporate. They just melt away. And so that's a really good thing too. It still exists.
That's awesome. Well, it was super cool.
It'll be it can be one of those hallmarks. And when they do the Julia Child Museum exhibit of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom.
Go to the J Museum. Yeah.
Right. So then the basket. Mm-hmm. So this was also from Jen, and she said, this is called a sterling silver. They used to make them a sterling silver and a silver plate. It was a silver-plated wedding basket, and they would fill it with flowers for a wedding, and it would sit on a table. Somebody might carry it down the aisle as their bouquet and then have it sit on the table for the rest of the day and then keep that as a keepsake. Well, it was silver plate, so there was all the silver plate had fallen off.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I just sprayed it with that gold spray paint to give it a gold finish.
Mhm.
And then just group the flowers that were in there. Now, I will also tell you a little secret about this. One of the sponsors of this show is called Sunshine Bouquet, and they asked me to come down and create a bouquet line for them. And so I came down and created a bouquet line for them. It was so interesting because I had a story for each bouquet. And so there were 12 different bouquets and each one had a story. Well, then they decided at the very last minute they weren't going to do it because they didn't want to make me
What?
famous or something like that. I don't even know what the reasons were. It was
Oh,
just so
gosh.
silly and stupid.
Yeah.
And it was all done and everything. But that's one of those bouquets from the bouquet line.
Oh, okay.
If you ever want to see the bouquets, I'll put a link down below. We made a video with each one of the bouquets, telling the story behind the bouquet and what was in that bouquet, and then made a flower arrangement with them. And those are all on the You Bloom website, so you can go see them. But it was just like one of those wonderful things that never ever occurred. And so
Oh.
if anyone is listening to me from a bouquet making company, I'm still willing to do that for anyone who would want to do that. I just think that would be a really fun thing to do. And it would have been, but I don't know exactly. Too many personalities were involved.
Okay.
Probably the fairest assumption.
Do it now, Jay. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And again, just this wonderful gift from Jan. So that was a wonderful gift that we could reuse too. Okay, so flatbread.
Yes. I loved this, Jay. I thought this was so cool. And it turned out so awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
It was challenging for me. Okay, here's the deal. Go on to Instagram or go on to Pinterest and do flower field flatbread. Search that.
Okay. Are there a lot of people doing that now, or?
Amazing.
Cool.
Amazing, incredible culinary art that
Cool.
makes this look like a dime store. Okay. I mean, it's unbelievable what some people make. And it's
Cool.
absolutely fascinating and it's absolutely gorgeous and it's just wonderful. And I love it. I mean, I think it's really wonderful. I just tried to show a bunch of the different techniques. I mean, like with the grapes and with the olives and making a flower out of a pepper. And it was a really fun, easy way to do it. And it is really fun. And I think, it's one of those things I could feel definitely. That was the first time I ever did it.
Okay.
And if you would do it again and again and again and again, it would be incredible. I have a wonderful friend, Nancy Wallace McDonald, I believe. We met each other. She's an influencer that was invited to an influence program at Piano and Smith's. And I follow her online. She makes the most beautiful wildflower, fields of flowers focaccia that is just stunning. Her and her husband, who she calls the Italian, make the most beautiful food. The most beautiful food. They're just amazing people. I'll put her link down below too.
I thought yours looked good too, Jay. And I
I
had a thought while you were doing it. I was like, Jay has like the coolest job in the world. I was like, I was like, Jay has a vision. He's like, a lot of people would see something like that and just go do it on their own as a hobby. And Jay is like, oh, I'm going to televise it. I'm going to show everyone else that it's possible. It's
I'm
like,
crazy.
no, not at all. You're showing the world like, oh, this is something that can be done and follow me along and this is going to be fun. And I just admire you for that.
Thank you. Number one. Number two, I think the interesting thing about this is we all get scared to try something new.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I do believe that that's part of it is when we started this show, we just wanted to show people how easy it was to bring flowers into their life in all sorts of opportunities. Whether you were mixing it into a cocktail, whether you were going to create something that you were going to bake with it, this focaccia bread, whether you're going to make a little thing that you could pin on your jacket, you make a flower crown. It doesn't really matter. The biggest part about it is just jump in and do it.
Oh, yeah.
You can sit and ponder and wonder for a long time. I will tell you one of my favorite stories. Okay, so I was in the American Institute of Floral Designers, and the association executive was Tom Shaner, and he's a good friend of mine. I ran for the president of AIFD, and I did not get it. I lost by 1 vote. So then I called Kelly, and Kelly said, just come home, and he said, it's okay, just get home. And so I came home. And when I came home, I said, I was so dejected. I was so hurt that I didn't make it to be president. I will tell you that is the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing in the world that ever happened to me was not becoming president of AIFD. Because when I walked in the door, Kelly said, will you do me a favor? You've been involved with them for 13 years and it's taken up all of your time and you've volunteered a lot of time. Why don't you create something for us?
Oh, cool.
That we love and that we can do. And we started You Bloom. Tom Shaner came to me a couple years later. We ran into each other and he said, why didn't you do that with us? Why did you start this and head down this road on your own? I said, because here's the deal. With You Bloom and with Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom and with thank you, RJ, Behind the Bloom podcast,
Oh,
I make the decisions, and I don't have to go to a committee, and I don't have to find out permission, and I don't have to, and if I'm going to do something, I just do it. And I said,
yeah.
we would still be trying to figure out what color the background should be. And we would, but let alone what we were going to talk about or who was going to star on the show. And I
Mhm.
can make all those decisions. And, you know, like the color of the set and all that stuff, it can just happen. We're going to make a flour flatbread. Yes, we are. Boom. We're going
Yeah.
to do that. And we throw it on the show. There's only been one thing that didn't make it to the show
Okay.
because it was so bad.
Oh, no.
And that was a butterfly that I made out of flowers. But then we scrapped it, and I went back and I created a better one and did the project again. And we did use it in an episode.
Okay.
But I think about that is that most of the time I'm very lucky that, and you know, also part of it, and this is something that Judy, my friend at American Public Television, always tells me, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're inspiring people to try something.
Hmm.
And so I really, really should not be lamenting on myself for not making it as pretty as it could be. If it gave some, I mean, and I will tell you, from the hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of pictures that we have now, people make prettier things. They're inspired to make those beautiful things, and they send me pictures because they're proud.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason we do this, is to inspire people and get them to take a chance and have a little fun. And that's the whole reason this show exists. And maybe that was lost on me back then. I don't know, you know, or that was not the original intention, but it is sure evolved into something that is that wonderful and that exciting and that joyful and that comforting and that emotional. All those things make it happen that way. So yeah. So this is just a good example of that.
That's amazing, Jay. I love that. I love hearing you say that. And I can definitely say like you've had an impact on me, and like flowers are now such a bigger part of my life. And I feel like, you know,
Exactly.
every week, Amanda and I are doing something.
They're getting into the green room with your people that you're working with. I mean, you know, it is. It's just, and maybe we overlook them. So yeah. Best garden flowers. Okay. Am I in fast round? I'm in speed round now. Okay. Yeah.
Speed round.
Okay. Best, and the flatbread is all yes, completely edible. So like you don't put anything on there that you wouldn't want to eat.
No.
That would be a bad thing. Okay. Best garden flowers for arranging. The tiger lily. I have tiger lilies in my yard because of my grandma. And my grandma was named Lily after a tiger lily, not an Easter lily. And so tiger lilies are wonderful. Kelly and I were just noticing they've moved. They've moved around the yard.
Oh,
so every year they drop little tiny bulbs and then they'll start again, right?
Mhm.
And they have moved out of the shade into the sun.
Oh, wow.
And it's because where we planted them originally was sunny, and now it's shady, and they have moved into the sun. So they're like, they've got their own little, we're going to move that direction, everybody this way. So I think that's very cool. Lilac. I have 2 lilac bushes, and I have one that's a French one that is so fragrant, and then the other one that's variegated, and I love those. Lilacs are wonderful. But you have lilac and honeysuckle in your neighborhood. What?
Yeah,
Tell me.
we do. Yeah, so there's people just in our neighborhood that have them, and it's so funny because we walk around our neighborhood and we smell people's bushes, and so we'll just be standing in someone's front yard and we pull down and we're smelling it, and then we're always wondering, are people looking out the window, like what's going on? There's one park that's near us that we can go to, and we go to the park and smell them, but usually when we're just walking around the houses, like on the way there, we're like, oh, there's some more, and we go and smell them.
And you should.
Yeah.
You shouldn't pick other people's flowers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you should smell them.
Yes.
Yesterday, Kel and I, we went over to do a scouting because we're filming this weekend at the All-State Bonsai Competition at Meyer Garden on Mother's Day morning at 5 a.m. We went over there. There was Korean viburnum, which just smells heavenly. There was plumeria in the tropical forest, and it was so cute today. This made me cry in the car. We were on the way to the grocery store this morning, and Kelly said it was really great to see the plumeria yesterday because it was just like seeing an old friend.
Oh.
And I thought, that's such a beautiful saying. Because, excuse me, when we were over in Hawaii and we went to the plumeria farm, the little plumeria farm, and got to see all of the plumerias that they have, it was just like seeing an old friend. And it's been a couple of years since we did that, and it smelled good, and it was, so yeah. Yeah, there was an orchid that's the chocolate orchid, the little spray orchid that smells like chocolate.
Cool.
It's an unsetting orchid, and that was fun. I was like thinking about it while we were at the botanical garden because I'm kind of like, can I step off this path a little bit to smell that viburnum? Okay. And I'm back up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, I will tell you this too. So just one more cool thing at the botanical garden yesterday. We were walking up this path, and this lady was like, Jay. And I was like, oh. And so I went over they were sitting in the tram, and these ladies were like, we're from Dayton, Ohio. And she said, my friends and I, we came to Tulip Time. They were at the Tulip Time Festival this weekend. And then they went to the botanical garden. And her friend said, yeah, she said that she watched you on TV all the time. And she was saying, I'm going to see him. I know I'm going to see him this week. And I was just like,
oh,
of
cool.
course. Look, it all worked out. And the one lady also said to me, she says you're so kind, and you really are kind in person, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. But I love when that happens. So for those of you who see me out and about, I don't mind when you say hi, stop and say hi. I love that. I love to know what's going on. And I love that the ladies they had come all the way from Dayton, and, they came to the botanical garden and just happened to run into us. So that's cool. And she said, I watch all the time. So yeah. And she said she listened to the podcast. So when you're listening to the podcast, know that I'm talking about you.
Oh,
so that's great. Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry. Okay. Hydrangeas, peonies, zinnia, dahlia, iris, allium, dianthus, carnations. They're all in this episode, and they're all things that I grow in the garden.
Cool. I love just you showing them all like kind of back to back to back. It's like, I don't know, when you're learning about what the different flowers are, it was helpful to like kind of see everything like boom, 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 boom. So you can kind of compare in your head. So I really liked that part of it.
This was our featured flower for this episode. So it was the first time that we did a conglomeration, because it was like, because we were getting a lot of questions at the time about what should I plant in a garden garden. I like that they're seasonal too. They're seasonal, so they move in and out. Like peonies are coming on now, but our tulips are still blooming. The viburnum bush is coming on. So there's a lot of different things out there. So yeah.
All right.
Thank you for Field of Flowers, kickoff of season 3.
Yes, I love
Number
it.
301.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. All right. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us this week on Behind the Bloom podcast with Jay Schwanke and RJ Poole. If you loved what you heard, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And share it with a friend to help us spread the joy, one bloom at a time. Thank you for taking the time to slow down with us. And hopefully you left feeling a little lighter and inspired to try something new. Make sure to join us next week for a brand new episode. Thanks for being here with us, Behind the Bloom. Hey, just one more thing. If you love flowers, you've got to check out ubloom.com. It's the online home of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom, where you can stream every episode for free. Plus, you'll find Behind the Bloom videos, my blog, show recipes, and so much more. There's also a massive video archive, over 1,800 how-to videos, flower farm documentaries, and even my very first series, JTV. All Life in Bloom episodes, exclusive web content, and farm documentaries are totally free. Just sign up with your email. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there's a paid subscription option that unlocks the full library of how-to videos. Everything from creating bridal bouquets to centerpieces, corsages, and more. Tons of content to explore. You're gonna love it.